Hello everyone, Tommy with Studio Sense here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. The realm of discontinued fragrance is somewhat of a mystery, simply because often it's hard to tell when a fragrance is discontinued because there's no specific website or any specific way in which fragrances are announced discontinued. You just kind of have to do your own research, check out the designer's website. If it's not on the website and no discounters are carrying it, and it's like that for a while, chances are it's been discontinued. Normally though, when you go to buy discontinued fragrances, it either looks like this, where it's super expensive and you got to save up to even afford or purchase it, or it looks like this, where the website's a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's literally nothing there. Yeah, no kidding, they're hard to find. They're not even on your webpage. So that's sort of what spawned today's video, which is about 7 designer fragrances that are still out there, that are still available, but I don't think they're going to be for very long. We got that and more coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone. Happy that you're here. Talking today about discontinued fragrances. Some of my favorite experiences with fragrances are finding fragrances that are hard to find at a really good rate. And there's kind of a sweet spot that you can find sometimes where it's like that, but it's a very short window, very short period of time. More often than not, that window closes before I can get a hold of it, and then it's super expensive on eBay or Amazon, and there's no way I'm going to pay prices like that. Lucky for you, you're doing the right thing by watching reviews, checking out YouTube, Googling discontinued fragrances, because today I've got 7 for you that are still available that you can buy right now. Got links below that you can check them out. Some of them are disappearing rapidly, and soon they won't be there at all. My recommendation, if you don't own them or if you haven't tried them out, at least do yourself a solid and try them out, even if you don't end up purchasing them or buying them. That way at least you've got that in your font of or wealth of knowledge to satisfy your own curiosity. The first fragrance is from a family of fragrances that are going bye-bye. Prada is, for whatever reason, getting rid of. At least it's been in the buzz for a long time now. The Prada L'Homme line, like on the precipice of being discontinued, if they're not already. This one has been discontinued for a while, and I feel like once it disappears from the market, it's going to be really hard to find. It is Prada Amber Pour Homme, or often just called Prada. Amber Pour Homme is literally the original soft laundry fresh fragrance. That kind of neroli orange blossom open leading into that myrrh and that frankincense and vanillic base, where it's a little bit heavy, a little bit weighty, prompts really good performance. And again, it's one of the most enjoyable office recommended kind of fragrances just because it's so pleasant, carries itself so well, and it lasts all day. Prada's Amber Pour Homme. Albeit this one's been around for a while and stock has been around for a while, but I feel like this is one of those that once it disappears, it's going to be really hard to find, at least at a good rate. Next up is a fragrance by Jean Varvatos, who really kind of pioneered the way when it came to taking floral and mineralic notes and turning them into masculine men's fragrances. And this is one of those. It is Jean Varvatos Vintage. Not only is it a great nod toward the artisan style and lifestyle in the presentation, but it's just a great smelling fragrance. I really enjoy this. If you like light mineralic floral going in the way of light suede or light leather fragrances, then you'll really enjoy Jean Varvatos Vintage. Again, Vintage is another one that there's usually plenty of stock in most discounters out there. Several of the Varvatos fragrances have been discontinued. Dark Rebel Rider, it's been a while waiting on this one to become discontinued. It is as well. If you like something that's very dark, heavy, kind of a bad boy, dark leather, labdanum, resinous, very resinous oriented fragrance, I love this one. Great, rich, incense heavy fragrance. Then you might want to check out Dark Rebel Rider. But again, for all the reasons that floral turns masculine, you want to check out Jean Varvatos Vintage. The next discontinued fragrance is a Bulgari fragrance. It is Bulgari Man Wood Neroli. Don't know why they're not keeping this. It's one of the best Bulgari Man releases in a long time. It was released almost in tandem with Wood Essence. They look very similar. They can be confused, at least visually, one for the other. They smell very different. Wood Neroli is my favorite out of the two, just because it has that very bright, rich, almost tangible neroli note in it, among others. It's very powerful, very long lasting, and just a great release. Don't know why they discontinued it, but lucky for you, there are still some available. Grab that one up. I can't recommend it enough. If you like powerful, long-lasting, great performing neroli-oriented fragrances, you'll really enjoy Bulgari Man Wood Neroli. Next up is kind of a redundant mention, simply because it's been talked about so many times ad infinitum about discontinued fragrances. It's another Bulgari fragrance, twice in this video talking about Bulgari, but I'm bringing it up just in case you're relatively new to men's fragrance. You're just kind of starting out on your journey. But a Bulgari Aqua fragrance that is very popular. It's been discontinued for a while. It is Aqua Amara, a very orangey, salty, lightly briny kind of, again, orangey, salty seaside fragrances. It's an aquatic fragrance, so if you like aquatic fragrances with just a hint of orange that stays through the life of the fragrance, you'll enjoy Aqua Amara. Great performing fragrance. There's not a ton of them out there. They've been slowly disappearing from the scene, from gray sites, from discounter sites. I think the link that I have below, there's 2 left. And it is a little bit overpriced in my estimation. But again, if you don't own it, you're a completionist and you want to complete your Aqua line, Bulgari Aqua line, you can definitely still pick this up. But again, once they're gone, they're going to be really hard to find at a good rate. Next up is another neroli-oriented fragrance. Really like the note of neroli, so it makes me sad when these disappear. For whatever reason, Ferrari has taken their Ferrari line and kicked them to the curb. Kind of a car pun, kind of, sort of. And this is one of them. It is Ferrari Bright Neroli. I don't know why they're getting rid of Pure Lavender, Bright Neroli, Noble Fig, Radiant Bergamot. They're very solid for inexpensive fragrances, and I'm talking about less than 20 bucks for a full 100 ml bottle. Got the leather lined cap there, the heavy glass, the nice atomizer, and a great smelling fragrance. So there are still some available, but they are rapidly disappearing from discounter websites. So if you haven't gotten yours, all of them are really good. Some of them are a little bit better than others. Specifically, if you can pick up Radiant Bergamot, Noble Fig, and Bright Neroli, you'll be doing great, because those are probably among the best. Uomo is another really good one. Pick them up while you can because they're disappearing quickly. About a year ago, something really cool happened. I was over at Ashton of Jensen's house, and I saw this really unusual presentation bottle sitting on the shelf, and I was like, what's that? He goes, oh man, check this out. This fragrance used to be everywhere, and then it just disappeared. For years, disappeared. And now it's come back. They apparently have found a stockpile of them, at least a few, and now it's slowly appearing at discounters. The fragrance that is discontinued by Paco Rabanne that he was referring to that I really liked is Paco Rabanne's Ultra Red Man. Ultra Red Man is an unusual fragrance in that it is one of the lighter gourmand fragrances. So if you're looking for a gourmand fragrance out there that's got a kind of a nice praline vanillic background, that is a little bit citrusy in the open, really nice blood orange, put to good use in this fragrance, then you'll really enjoy Ultra Red Man. It's also got a noticeable masculine bent to it, and therefore is a very solid fragrance, not only in performance, but in just overall scent profile. Ultra Red Man, yes, it's out there. Yes, you see it now at most discounter websites, but again, once it disappears, it's literally going to be gone. And then people are going to be selling theirs because they're buying 2 and 3 of them. They'll jack the price up on Amazon or eBay, and you'll wish that you had gotten your hands on one while you could. So definitely check out Paco Rabanne's Ultra Red Man. The last of the 7 fragrances that I want to mention to you are still available out there if you want to grab them up while you can, is a fragrance by Hugo Boss. It is Boss Bottled Sport. Boss Bottled Sport it's a decent fragrance. I'm not going to say it's fantastic. It's, it's set a precedent for sport fragrances. It kind of sprays on like the original Ferragamo. It's got this kind of a bright, light leather appeal to it at the very forefront, but then it dries down very similar to Givenchy Gentleman only, the lighter gentleman fragrances that are more barbershop oriented. And it's got that brighter kind of dry aldehydic effect, which should be in a good sport fragrance. And it's definitely in Boss Bottled Sport. The only reason that I'm bringing this to your attention is, yes, it's discontinued. It is slowly disappearing from discounter shelves. And if you are a completionist, if you have the entire Hugo Boss bottled line, but Boss Bottled Sport, now is the time to pick it up, because you'll be sad later on when your collection isn't complete because it's no longer available, or you'll have to pay much more than you would want to for just a decent, mediocre sport fragrance. Well, guys, that's it for these 7 discontinued fragrances that are still available at discount websites. All of these are very enjoyable, some more than others you'll find, depending upon your taste, but they are all very, very solid performers and very popular, as you'll notice if you look for ratings and things like that in the world of men's fragrance. Now, if you own any of these, let me know which is your favorite, or let me know if you have a favorite discontinued fragrance out there, or if you have any thoughts regarding discontinued fragrances or fragrances that you're afraid are going to be discontinued. Let me know what those are as well. Here are a few more discontinued fragrances. I'm just going to scroll from top to bottom just to let you know that there are a few more out there that are still available, and I'll link those below as well. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.